Welcome, my friends, to the Eat Yourself Slender kitchen. You know our goal, keep our insulin levels normal and steady because high insulin makes us fat. And we're rebelling against that, aren't we? I talked to thousands of you, and you know what? Breakfast is your biggest problem. You're almost always eating too much bread. Bread is not your friend. No, I'm sorry. It converts to carbohydrates and it wreaks havoc on your weight. I have a very close friend who has complained of her muffin top for over 3 years. I kept saying, please give up the bread, the muffins, the breadsticks, the bagels. And she said, I like bread. Well, you know what happened to her? She interrupted her metabolism. When we go to bed at night, our metabolism goes low, and it's like a fire. There's just a little embers burning. We get up in the morning and we throw something on those embers. Well, if you throw bread on the embers, you get a quick flare up like kindling, and then a crash. You throw a log on the fire with protein, you will get no cravings and no insulin spike. Well, finally, she called me about 2 weeks ago and said, Barbara, I did it. I gave up the bread. I'm losing weight. Why didn't I do this before? Well, that was my question. And that's my question to you. Are you ready? Let's go. Breakfast is a problem. I understand. And I understand you have the need for speed. And I've been there also. I had to go to work. I had to take my child to carpool. I was tired of running around in the morning. But my favorite high protein breakfast is portable, it's fast, you can make it ahead, it's 200 calories and 22 grams of protein. Now that's a log on the fire. Wow, what is it? It's chicken. And that's what we're going to talk about today, my best chicken recipe. And I call it Barbara's Spicy Chicken. I want you to add spices to every meal. One of the greatest brain defenses is the addition of spices to your food. Spices function like little brain medications. Each spice can provide between 20 and 80 different nutrients, antioxidants, minerals, multivitamins. Don't add one single calorie, and you burn more calories the more spices you eat. So my challenge to you is every dish you make, I want you to add 3 spices, and salt and pepper don't count. So make your food into a superfood. Spices increase the overall feeling of feeling full and satisfied. Studies show when people consumed food with even a half teaspoon of red pepper flakes before a meal, they decreased their calorie intake by 10 to 16%. Now, you don't have to do red pepper flakes. I'm going to show you some other great spices. Do not be afraid. Use them liberally. You're going to get your best results from the highest doses. Now, here we go. I'm going to tell you how we're going to fix our chicken. Now, I've gone to the store and I got a 6-pack. Well, actually, it's a 5-pack, but they do come in 6-packs of the very cheap chicken breasts with the skin on. And don't be afraid of the skin. You can go and buy much more expensively the boneless, skinless chicken, but there's no need. The skin won't hurt you. You can eat the skin. If you don't want to eat the skin, I'll show you what to do. Here's what I do. See my 5 pieces. Now, there's any extra fat. Look here, there's a little extra fat. I'm cutting this off. Everything else looks pretty good, and I've pre-prepared the other pieces. So we're just cutting these little pieces off, and off we go. And then you're going to cut right here, and cut right here, and now you can lift the skin. So you can put your spices underneath the skin if you don't want to eat the skin. And that's a great little tip, because maybe you want to have a succulent piece of chicken, but it gets dry when it's skinless. Now at the end, you could just peel the skin off. I like the skin, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Now, when you're touching chicken, you always have to wash your hands, and I have my little purifier on that towel. Okay, first of all, what am I going to do? I'm going to start with my favorite spice, which is sea salt. but you know it doesn't count for the 3. And I'm going to just put some sea salt on each piece of chicken. You don't have to be afraid of sea salt because it contains so many minerals and vitamins. And I buy it in the large container, as you can tell. Now, black pepper, a lot of you like it, but no black pepper today because we're going to be using paprika. Paprika is one of my favorite spices. It comes in a hot form and a sweet form. The California is sweet, the Hungarian is hot. So what does paprika do? It elevates mood, it increases digestion, and helps you burn calories. Now I'm just liberally sprinkling this on because this is going to give your chicken breast the most beautiful golden color and great, great taste. Okay, what will I do next? Well, I'm a garlic person because I know the studies. Garlic improves blood circulation to the brain. Garlic improves strength of your blood vessels. It lowers blood pressure. It lowers the LDL, increases the HDL, and helps prevent stroke. And garlic is anti-cancer. Now, you don't have to do garlic, but I have to tell you, this smells really good. And I hope you do garlic. Now, what else could I do? I could do for myself, some hot curry pepper, which I love, but might be too much for you starting out and for breakfast. So I'll put that to the side. But I want to tell you about blended spices. I love blended spices. This is a Italian blend. It's got basil and thyme and marjoram, and I'm just going to put that on right now. So look how we're going along. Now this is not rocket science, people, but this is going to help you lose weight. Now another little secret, you can go to a specialty spice store, which I do many times. I go to a little store where I can buy these for $2 a piece, and there is so many. There's an Ethiopian one, there's a Persian spice, and then here's a very spicy African spice. The one I'm going to pick is this African spice because it contains the cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne pepper will burn those calories like crazy and also reduce fatigue, stimulate and release endorphins, and lower blood pressure, and stimulate hair growth in men. So I'm putting my little cayenne pepper on. Now, for many of you, you go, oh my gosh, I could never do cayenne pepper. But you can do it in a blend because it's not that strong. It also lowers triglycerides and cholesterol, so give it to your husband. My husband's going to love this chicken. I'm adding now some rosemary. I'm onto 4 spices. Are you proud of me? Rosemary improves the blood circulation to the brain, can improve memory, helps prevent cataracts and atherosclerosis, relieves allergy, and some women, it can help regulate the menstrual cycle. So how about putting that rosemary on there? And if you have a rosemary bush, you're great to go. Okay, there we go. Now you say, I don't want to invest in a lot of spices because I don't know if my family will like spicy food. Well, my answer is chili powder. Look at the size of chili powder I buy. I love chili powder. It comes in all kinds of strengths. And you just sprinkle it on. I would put it all over this if it was me, but you do what you want to do. But we're done. Don't these look great already and they're not even cooked? Well, here I go off to the oven. 375 for 45 minutes, and these are going to be delectable. I'm back 45 minutes later. These are 3 of my 5. Isn't this a beautiful looking dish? Okay, here I am, ready for breakfast or lunch. Now, I put my chicken on a pretty little plate, but you can do a paper plate. Who cares? Now, don't feel that this is going to be boring because you're going to do condiments. First of all, we learned that fat does not raise your triglyceride levels. It's sugar that will raise triglycerides and cholesterol. So do not be afraid of good fats. You want to be afraid of preservatives and sugar. So when you go in and say you want to do ranch dressing with your chicken, well, you want to go into the aisles where the things are in a nice, the products are in a nice glass and they're cold because that means there's no preservatives. So this is a beautiful Caesar dressing, which is my husband's favorite to eat with his chicken. Now, I'm a mustard gal. I can do mustard depending on my mood. This one has olive oil in it. And this one is a beautiful grainy Dijon. Could you just not eat that whole thing with a spoon? But I'll tell you my favorite. I want to be happy in the morning. So I love Thousand Island dressing. And what I've done is I've put some Thousand Island dressing in here. Not too much, but enough to satisfy me. And I'm going to take some beautiful salsa that contains corn and black beans, and I'm just going to mix that around. And you can do as much as you want. Do not be afraid. And that's going to be what I will dip my chicken into. As a matter of fact, let's just dump all that salsa in there, because more is more when it comes to enjoying your breakfast. So you will just eat your chicken and dip it in. Or you could take your beautiful chicken, look at this, how nice it is. This is only a half a breast. And you could just roll it in a great green lettuce leaf and eat it protein style. Protein style is wonderful. You don't need a bun. Did you ever look at a bun by itself? It's nothing. You want the protein. So, how does this work? I usually bake my chicken on Sunday nights. This is so speedy. I bake 5 of them, 6 of them, depending how many came in the pack. I put them in a container. Here I go. I've got 2 chicken breasts in here. You can have a bigger container, whatever fits in your fridge. I like to stack mine and 2 per piece. But they're ready to go for lunch, for breakfast. People will say, "What are you eating?" And you say, "I'm eating chicken." I go, "What do you mean you're eating chicken? It's breakfast time." Well, you explain about the insulin levels and you're eating yourself slender. I have people stop me on the street and say, "Excuse me, do you ever eat?" And are you kidding? I eat all the time, but I'm eat myself slender. That's the key. And I've seen people lose up to 35 pounds in 5 months, and this was a staple, eating their protein in the morning. So please try it just once. And if you buy the economy pack, it's going to be 5 or 6 times, and you are going to feel so good. No insulin spikes for us. Insulin is a bully, but we are too smart to allow it. No insulin spiking. Insulin be gone, just to normal levels. Thank you for joining me at the Eat Yourself Slender Kitchen, and stay tuned. I have lots more recipes to share with you. I want you to be the weight you want to be while you are eating.